2020. It's been a crazy year, this COVID-19. It's all kind of what's going on right now. What's happening? I hope they don't ask me for any money. I definitely didn't ask for this. Well, this is gonna be for free. I didn't ask for this. This is happening. I don't believe this is happening. I don't have the money to do it. Can someone hit the rewind button on 2020?
From Washington, D.C., it's After Dusk with Maurice Brown. Joining Maurice, as always, the very funny comedian Kason Wilson. Tonight's guests are from the upcoming film The Farmer and the Belle, actress Jen Gotson, comedian Joey ILO, comedian Brian Kohatsu, actress and singer-songwriter Julie Tapkin, and praise and worship singers Chris and Helen Holmes. And now, a man who thinks hamsters are super cool and neato, Maurice Brown.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to After Dusk with me, Maurice Brown. It is great being here with you guys tonight. We got a great show for you guys tonight on the inaugural edition of After Dusk with Maurice Brown. I got my main man, Kason Wilson, hanging out with me tonight. This is going to be a great show. It's COVID-19, everybody. A lot of crazy stuff happening in America right now. There's no doubt about that, this COVID-19 stuff. But, however, my wife informed me, get this, everybody, of really great news recently. She said, honey, we have enough money for the rest of our lives. How about that? We just have to die tonight. By 10 p.m. We got to be out of here. Now, it's not that bad. It's really not that bad. We're okay. But the COVID-19 thing, it's really something, because all the restaurants are shut down and, they're talking about Virginia closing the churches back up again, all kind of stuff going on. But the barbershop, and we love the barbershop. Black men, that's our sanctuary. We just love it. We can't go. There's nothing like, for example, a black man walking out of the barbershop and feeling like Denzel Washington. You know what I'm saying? We love that. We don't look like Denzel, but we feel like him. You see. Now, there's always that one guy, though, in the barbershop down at the end that nobody goes to, like he's all alone. And you try to avoid eye contact with him, and then you look up and he's staring right at you, and he's giving you one of these numbers. Yo, trying to get a cut? I got you. What's up? And so out of guilt, you go to this guy and you end up leaving the barbershop looking like the bizarro Denzel Washington. Just not a good idea to go to that guy. But, that's the only thing. The barbershop is the one place where a black man can feel like a black man. That's our section. Dion Cole, the comedian, said, you can't just walk around all day being black all day long in America. Society don't play that. You can't do that. It's like that black guy in your office. You know the one, that guy, that is not the real James. I'm just saying, that's not James. Dion Cole, thank you so much. You're right, dude. You can't walk around all day being black in America. You can't do it. I'm 56, and my mother still tells me, boy, you're too loud. Shut up. I'm 56. Okay. I guarantee you, if you go to the bedroom of an African-American kid, a 7-year-old African-American kid, I guarantee you right now, he's in his bedroom, on his bed, jumping up and down. He got the memo. It's crazy being black in America. I tell you, kids going nuts. I'm black. Oh, man. Anyway, so it is what it is. The barbershop, that's our place. We love it. And back in the day, thugs used to hang out at the barbershop all the time back in the day. And thugs were good guys back in the day. They used to walk the little kids to school. Say, look, yo, man, stay off these streets, man. Get some good grades now. You don't want to. You don't want to end up like Bone Thug. You see what I'm saying? Get some good grades. I'm gonna go across town, take care of some deals and some scores here. You know what I'm saying? A little drug debt stuff. When school is over, I'm gonna be right here, and I'm gonna walk you home. All right, little dude. That's how they were back in the day. Thugs were integrity. Not today. Thugs today, good kids from good homes want to be thugs in 2020. Really? You're a thug wearing braces. You're a thug with a comprehensive dental plan. I don't know of any thugs that live in 2-car garages with a swimming pool in the back. Do you? And your name's Trevor? You got to give me a tough. If you're going to be a thug, you got to give me a tougher thug name than that. I mean, a thug name is like Bam Bam, Boo Boo, Baby, Bam Bam, DOA, Knuckles, Scandalous, Tricky, Red Man. Yeah. These are thug names. Donald Trump. You know, just typical everyday thug name. You know what I mean? So I'm 56 years old, everybody. Been married 22, going on 23 years to a beautiful lady from Brazil. 3 kids, 24, 22, and 18. I thank God. I used to tell my kids all the time when they were growing up, hey, listen, look, you're not thugs, okay? Don't try that. You have a dad who's a black man that talks like Tom Hanks. Just forget it. Not going to go over too well at the cookout. Just stop. So I used to tell them that stuff all the time. But I've got some good kids. There's no question. And like I said, my wife, beautiful lady from Brazil, what she didn't understand is when she came to this country, how obsessed black men are with football. Not black men only, but all men, not just American men are obsessed with football. She didn't get that, you know, and she came to me on a beautiful, sunny autumn fall day, you know, when most normal red-blooded American males are watching. That's it. That's what I want to hear. Football. She said, honey, let's go outside, get this, everybody, and take pictures of nature. Whoa. I'm like, you know what, babe? You are in luck. I'm actually watching nature right this very moment. Come on in here and sit down. You got to love this nature program. It is awesome, babe. It's the Bears versus the Lions. She did not like that, which you can understand. You can understand that. I mean, we're really cavemen. I mean, what's wrong with us anyway? I actually realized I wasn't normal. You know, I learned to love nature. And I also learned that I didn't want to wake up in the morning with Brett Favre. I didn't want to do that. So anyway, I learned that. You guys have been awesome. Welcome to After Dusk with me, Maurice Brown. Settle in and enjoy the next hour and a half or so, everybody. Going to be a great show. Holler at my main man, Kason Wilson. Kason.
What's up? What's going on?
Kason, man, what's happening, man? I had to come all the way around the corner and sit in my chair. What's up, brother? What's happening?
Oh, you got the whole setup for After Dusk. I'm over here on the wall. You got 2 different. Oh, you went from the monologue to the. Okay, I'm with it. Yeah. I'm with it.
What's going on, Kay?
Ain't nothing. Same old Verizon bill due in a couple weeks. What's up with you?
Oh man, I don't know, man. I'm just trying to be like Barry Sanders and avoid this COVID-19. I'm trying to get back on stage and perform. And you're out in Los Angeles right now. What's the deal out there in LA, man?
Same as you. Everybody's just out here. Everybody out here just trying to make it. And people, it's weather's a little better, so you can perform outside. I just did a show on Saturday outside. Yeah. But same as everybody else. Everybody trying to survive.
Yeah, we are. And Steve Mokate, who's going to be on my show in a couple of days. Yeah, you're not going to be a thug if you talk like Tom Hanks. So you can forget about that. That's for daggone sure. Hey, Kenny Lee, Cornbread Rob. You know Cornbread, right, Kenny?
Cornbread. That's my man. Cornbread is dope.
That's a good dude. He's a good dude. You know what we're going to do? We got a segment right now, Kay, called Stupid Human Stories, right? And
Okay.
we're going to listen to 4 comedians talk about the dumbest thing they've ever done in their life, the dumbest experience they've ever had in their life. And then me and you, AK, we're going to judge it. Because, I mean, who better to judge a real bomb story than a couple of comedians, right?
I hear you. Yeah, we got our own.
I mean, okay, we know bomb, dude. So, I mean, you couldn't ask for 2 better judges, right?
I hear you. Let's do it.
So we're going to do this. We got 4 outstanding comedians. Jennifer O'Brien is on the show. Nicole Miller is here. Cornbread Robinson is here. And we're going to hear from these guys. And they've got some really great stories. I'm going to tell you that right now. We're going to start off, though, with Michelle Van Duzen's most epic human fail.
Picture, if you would, 1980. I'm 12. 12-year-old Michelle, working really hard, following all of mom's rules, cleaning the house, right? Just finished a load of dishes. And in our house, we had to do the dishes by hand. So I have a sink full of dirty soap water. But then I just leave that and I go to the next chore. Now I'm vacuuming. And I'm vacuuming everywhere. And in our kitchen, we had tile. But my mom had one of those fancy new vacuums that you could do the carpet and the tile. So now I'm vacuuming the tile and I'm vacuuming the kitchen and I'm picking up all those crumbs. And I glance over and I see that I left the dirty soap water. So what do as a brilliant 12-year-old? I don't turn off the vacuum. No, I keep vacuuming because I'm a multitasker and I shove my other hand into the water. Do you know how long it takes to be shocked? Not long at all. My hand wasn't actually even in the water yet before my other hand let go of the electricity. It ran through everything in me. And I found myself on the floor and I woke up and I thought, wow, that's going to be a story I'll tell on the Maurice Brown Show.
Well, that's a pretty epic fail. Okay, what do you think of that?
It's electric. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because I haven't been able to go to a family reunion or a cookout, but if someone can edit that with the electric slide playing behind her, I would really appreciate it.
That would be great. Oh my gosh, dude, that would be great. That would be a great little edit to that story. That was a pretty bad fail, dude. Here's another one from Cornbread Robinson.
Hey, all you people out there watching Maurice Brown Show. It's great to be here. Maurice asked me to share an embarrassing or humiliating thing that happened to me, and it was early in my comedy career. I was in the stage where I was doing a lot of open mics, and I was getting great reports, and I was getting offers to do shows and churches. And I thought I was the next Jeff Foxworthy. I was the next Larry the Cable Guy. It was just a matter of somebody seeing me. And it was a Saturday night, and I was headlining a show out in Tyson's Corner outside of Washington, D.C. And there were 3 comedians on before me, and I would be the 4th comedian. And we were going to start at 7:30 and be finished by 9 o'clock, because at 9 o'clock, this nightclub was having a country and western dance. And so the first comedian gets up and he's bombing. And I'm thinking, oh, I feel so bad for him. And the second comedian gets up and he's thinking, nobody's paying any attention. And I'm like, oh, I feel so bad. Both of these guys are good comics and I don't know what's happening. Third comic gets up and same thing. And in my pride and in my confidence in myself, I had never bombed. I was sure I was going to blow this audience away. The house was packed. There were 200 or 300 people. And my turn came up. I had the last 30 minutes before the dance was to start, and I was hitting all my best jokes and all my best punchlines. and stuff that always got big laughs, and it was nothing. And it was the longest 30 minutes of my career. I was like, can I get off here? But I've got to do my time. And I kept doing it, and I kept trying every trick I knew in the book to get a response, and it was nothing. And it was humiliating. It was embarrassing. I was upset with myself. And I came off stage, and the booker pulled me aside, and he said, don't worry about it. You did fine. If we were just doing a comedy show tonight, it would have been different because you would have had a comedy show audience. But this audience tonight came to dance, came to hook up with somebody, came to impress their day. And we were just using the comedians as filler till the place got full. You did your job. Here's your money. I wanted to give the check back. I was so embarrassed. I was so humiliated. I didn't feel like I earned the money. And he was like, no, take the money. You're fine. I'll bring you back another time. We're doing just a comedy show. All the way home, I just felt completely like I was worthless. I was humiliated. I was embarrassed. I just wanted to crawl in the hole and die. And I think all comedians feel that way sometimes. You just do everything right and nothing works. And it can be the most embarrassing, most humiliating thing in the world. So it taught me a lot of humility. I learned that I'm not invincible. I learned that there are some jobs you probably shouldn't take, but do your best and keep smiling. And thanks, Maurice, for this opportunity to share my most embarrassing, humiliating experience as a comedian. Thanks.
So there it is. What an experience. We got Jen Gottson coming up. Jen, hold on. We got you coming up in about 2 or 3 minutes. But real quick, Kay,
Yes.
what'd you think of that one?
That was real. I felt, as a comedian, I felt that in my soul. I know that feeling. But Cornbread is great. Cornbread is the only person in my life who has ever dapped me up with cowboy boots on. It's never happened to me before in my life. Like the first time I met him, he was like, "What's going on, man?" And I was like, "Wow, I didn't expect that with those boots on." Cornbread is great. I'm a really big fan. He's great.
We're going to take a quick step away from the stupid human stories real quick and talk with a very special actress that I had an opportunity to do a film with back in 2016. And it was called Love Different with Jen Gottson. And Jen, thanks for being on the show. God bless you.
Hey, buddy. I'm so excited to be here. It is awesome. You're awesome. And all of you guys are awesome.
Well, Jen, you've got a movie coming out tomorrow called The Farmer and the Belle. By the way, Jen, this is Kason Wilson. He is a faith-based comedian, very funny guy. He's based out of Los Angeles. Kason, this is Jen Gottson, an actress I had the pleasure of appearing with in Love Different in 2016.
What's going on, Jen?
How you doing, buddy? How are you?
I'm doing all right, man. It's good. It's good I get it. I'm looking forward to hearing about the movie. The hat is ready for the press run. I'm here for it.
Thank you.
I'm here for it.
So Jen, tell us about The Farmer and the Belle days starting tomorrow.
I know. Well, after 4 years of working on creating a franchise of a movie with books, jewelry, and all of this good stuff that goes along with the mission of our film, which I'll talk about that in a second. But let me tell you about the movie. It is a funny family Christmas movie for all ages. And it follows a story about this little girl who gets this bracelet from her Grammy. It's an heirloom bracelet, and her Grammy tells her beauty is on the inside. Well, she goes to this fun, festive Christmas farm festival called Santaland, and, well, she loses it in the pig slop. So
Okay.
it's gone. She's now became a very famous model at the end of her career, where everything that she knows is based on her physical appearance. And her agent tells her, "You're aging out." And she remembers this bracelet Granny gave her. And she says, "You know what? I have to overcome my fears of the farm." And she goes back to her childhood roots, deals with the cows, the chickens, the pigs, the goats. She falls in love with her childhood pen pal, who's now the farmer, played by my husband, Jimmy Chandler. And she learned
Absolutely.
that true beauty is when you serve others. And then she saves Santaland, which is the farm festival. And there's magical snow, of course, in the movie. So that's The Farmer and the Belle Saving Santaland. And literally it comes out everywhere November 17th, Tuesday,
Okay.
tomorrow. And we're so excited.
Well, I'm excited about it, Jen. I'll tell you, this is a highly anticipated film, particularly in the faith-based community. You are well respected. And by the way, Jen, congratulations to the new addition to the Chandler family.
Yes, he's cooing in the background. It's really adorable. If you have 30 seconds, I could go get him and say hello to you all.
Welcome the new Chandler baby to the Maurice Brown Show. Please bring him out.
He's not dressed for his appearance, but I'll go get him anyways.
I'm assuming
Okay.
this isn't a baby because this will be awkward. This is not a baby, right?
Well, it would be awkward. Yes, it would be. No. Nicole says, "I lost a necklace at a rodeo, so I can relate." That's interesting, Nicole.
Oh, that is a baby. It is a baby.
Fun.
Hey.
Fun.
Hey.
Wow. Hello there, young Chandler.
Yeah, say hi. Mommy has heard me crying in the crib because it's bedtime for me. And I have not gone to sleepies yet.
Beautiful, Jen.
Hey, Jen.
Beautiful. I love it.
Want to say hi, James? Say hi, baby James.
Hi, James. How are you, buddy?
Baby James, I'm 2 months old. I'm 2
Wow.
months old.
Jen, I can tell already he's going to be an actor. I can already see it.
You guys timed a baby just for the movie. That was perfect.
You know, if
You guys conceived just in time for the release. That was amazing.
That's amazing indeed.
Hey, Jen, I have a question. So if I heard you correctly, you and your husband star in the movie.
We do.
What did you learn about your husband as an actor that you did not know about him as a husband?
Oh, you know, we've worked on over 15 films before we made The Farmer and the Belle.
Mm-hmm.
So on this particular set, what I've learned is that it's very difficult to produce and act and keep your sanity.
Yes.
My husband handles all the logistics. And so it was difficult for us to be able to really make sure that we had those times to bond when we had the pressures of film production on our shoulders. So I think that's something that we learned is, you know, how to weather the storm together, because we are the romantic leads, and be able to continue to keep that bond and chemistry alive on screen, which is what it's all about at the end of the day for the storytelling.
Got it.
Yes, that is what it's all about at the end of the day, Jen, without question. And I believe you have do you have another film that's out there right now that you did with Kevin Sorbo called Forgiven?
Yeah, Forgiven released. It's on Showtime. It's also at Walmart. It's been selling strong at Walmart because it's been on the end shelf for a couple weeks now, which is awesome.
Okay, that's really good stuff. Well, Jen, I know that you have a lot of preparations going on for tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a big day for The Farmer and the Belle. So I don't want to hold you too long. I really appreciate you stopping by, though, and chit-chatting with us a little bit. You had an opportunity to meet one of the top young Christian comedians out there in Kason Wilson. And one more time, your film tomorrow, The Farmer and the Belle, and what platform can we see that on?
Well, I invite all of you to watch it on Amazon, buy it or rent it, and we will be having an online premiere that you and all of your family and friends are welcome to. It's November 29th.
Okay.
And then at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, you'll get onto a Zoom link and we will talk with Movie Guide's owner, Ted Bear, who will moderate it with How to Succeed in Hollywood Without Losing Your Soul, which was a mentorship the film and the writers were, we developed it from. And we'll have a talk back with the cast and with the crew. And we're going to have a watch party on Amazon that afternoon. So
Okay.
It would be 5 p.m. Eastern time. So we invite you and your family and friends on that Thanksgiving Sunday to watch The Farmer and the Belle Saving Santa Land to usher in that Christmas spirit. And then we'll all have fun on a Zoom call to be able to just have a good time together. So that's what I would say for everybody.
I love it. I love it, Jen. And we got to make sure also we represent our film in 2016, Love Different. You can see it on Pure Flix. We had a chance to do that film. We had a great time. Tommy Ford, the late Tommy Ford, who was on the TV show Martin from back in the day, he was in the film. And, of course, it was directed by Anthony Hackett. Our good friend Michael Patterson was in the film as well. Check it out. K-Son, have you seen my film, man?
I have, man. We've been talking about this film for years, man. Of course.
All right, my man. I love it. Okay, Jen,
you have
listen.
To see Anthony in The Farmer and the Belle Saving Santa Land. He's in the Santa Land games, and he wrestles some pigs and puts Santa hats on them. And
all right, that's right. Anthony is a part of that film as well. As you mentioned, Anthony, he is also a part, ladies and gentlemen, of A Badge of Faith, which you can see on Pure Flix as well. Anthony Hackett is in that film. Jen, I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you, Celestia. Love you, Jen. Thanks for stopping by.
Bye-bye, everybody. Have a great evening.
All right, Jen. God bless you. You too. May the peace of Christ be with you, Jim and James. All right. Jen Gutson, everybody on the show. Really super nice person, Kay. Super nice.
I mean, listen, I've made flyers. I've made Eventbrite posts. I've made promotion videos, but having a baby is the greatest promotional thing I've ever seen. James is the cutest, man. That was great.
Yeah, James is the cutest, and you could not pull off a bigger marketing ploy than that. Having a baby just in time, that was awesome. That was just like stupendous. Yeah, you got to give him 100 full props for that. Anyway, Kay, we are going to continue with stupid human stories, but we have a special guest coming up next, Julie Tapkin, who was in the film Providence in 2016 and a number of other films. And she's currently working on a film now, but she's also a singer, songwriter, and she has an album. Actually, she just released an EP, a country EP called Denim with Diamonds. She's going to come up next. We will continue stupid human stories a little bit later on in the show. We're going to take a quick time out. When we come back, we're going to have Julie Tapkin on it.
You're going to risk your job, everything you work for. I don't want you getting tangled up in this. I don't know if I'll follow the rules.
You know you can't get rid of me that easily.
Come on, seriously.
If the roles were reversed, would you risk it for me?
This is off the record. That means you don't talk about it.
You think he's really gonna show?
He'll show. They always show.
Yeah, they always show. And I tell you, this guy right here is going to show December 8th right here on the Maurice Brown Show. This is After Dusk, of course. Then I have my other show, the Maurice Brown Show. And Jared O'Flaherty, the creator, director, and producer of Vindication, will be on December 8th at 12 noon. That's a Tuesday, so stick around for that. Have you ever seen Vindication, Kay?
I haven't, but it's certainly intriguing. The preview looked great.
Dude, let me tell you something. I highly advise you and your wife to sit down and watch Vindication. It is a faith-based crime series. It's the hottest ticket in Christian TV right now. And the beautiful thing about it, Kay, is it's not hokey. It's not sappy. It's not cheesy. It's like, oh, another one of those Christian films. No. This thing right here is edgy. It's gritty. and it gets right up to the line of quote unquote what you might call inappropriate, but it never gets there. They handle hard, tough, difficult, everyday life issues, but they do it with class. It's like there are some things, Kay. It's like, yo, you don't need to show me that. I get it. You don't have to go that far. Okay, we're grown. Okay, so it doesn't do all of that extra, but it gets into the issues, and it takes you to the light. Like, I enjoy NCIS, I enjoy Blue Bloods, I enjoy Law and Order. I love those shows. The only problem is when it's over, it makes you want to jump off a building. But with this, Kay, it's pointing to the light. So check it out. It's coming up, season 2. I'm not sure when they're going to release it. Season 1, though, is in the books, and you can see it on PureFlix. I highly advise you to check it out. Susan, how's it going? Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to switch over to a very special friend of mine in the acting business. She's also a singer-songwriter. Just released an EP called Denim with Diamonds. She's not going to sing a selection from that EP, though. She's going to give us a different selection. Check it out, ladies and gentlemen. Julie Tapp.
Hey, Maurice. Thank you so much for having me back. It's such an honor to be on After Dusk with Maurice Brown. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to do a Lauren Daigle cover. Come Alive, the cry of my heart, that dry bones, that dusty hearts and dead hearts would come alive to the saving knowledge of Jesus Christ.
When we
And there you go, Kay. What do you think, buddy? That was an excellent selection by Julie Tapkin.
That was delightful. I'm at a place of zen right now, and after this is over, I'm going to go watch season 2 of Seventh Heaven. That was beautiful.
Okay, it was beautiful. It was beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Julie, thank you so much for being on the Maurice Brown Show. That was an awesome song, and all the glory to Christ. I love having good folks on the show like you, and you're welcome to come back anytime. Kate, we're going to get back to our human fail stuff, and we got. Have you ever met Jennifer O'Brien?
I believe so. I think name sounds familiar. I would love to. Can't wait to see the story.
Yeah, this is going to be a really interesting story. She did something that was, well, I'll tell you what. I'll let her do the talking. Okay, check it out.
Okay, so let's see. One of my most embarrassing moments or fails or whatever you want to call it, I'll just share a story where I did a comedy show for my husband's work. And it was about 3 years ago, and they had asked me if I'd come to the office Christmas party because they heard I was a comedian. So they wanted a professional, and I was like, sure, my husband works there. Don't worry about paying me. I'm just going to come and bless you guys with some laughter. So I was excited, and, and I think my husband was excited to, bring his funny wife to the office Christmas party. They were transitioning into a new building, so it was this big factory. And they had it catered, and it was just this huge mass open space. But in the middle of it, they had this huge stage set up, and then there was people singing beforehand. And I was supposed to go on at like really early in the night, probably around 7:30, which I thought, okay, perfect. We'll get there. We had a little something to eat, and I was about to go on, but then they came on and they started doing all these awards and talking to everybody for like another hour. It was like almost 9 o'clock. And honestly, there was a part of me that was like, I wanted to be home by now. But anyway, I'm a professional. I'll rise above it. And so I came on, they introduced me. And it was funny. I think the intro was, what did they say? Something like, oh, I can't even remember, but it totally foreshadowed the nightmare I was about to embark upon. So, I can't even remember the line. Anyway, they bring me up, and everyone starts leaving right when I get on there because they wanted to go have a smoke break. And so I start calling people out and making fun of that and trying to be light, trying to be in the room. But it was awful. It was just terrible. And like, I didn't even want to be there. So it was just it was a really terrible timing. And I just kept trying to be funny and act like I really didn't. I was just going to get through my set. I think I was going to do 25 minutes. I think I ended up doing 20. And then people started playing ping pong in the middle of, there was a ping pong. So ping pong balls kept flying over my head, and I tried to just be like, and call it out. And then someone started playing cornholes, which I had to ask them what that was. I was good at that game, so I was having a conversation with the guys. And this is kind of a rough bunch of people, country folk. And I probably made some jabs along the way that maybe they didn't like me after that. I don't know. I'm sure I did a lot of things wrong. But all those things were happening, and they just wanted to have a party and not have to listen to me because I got done listening to the boss for an hour and a half. And then I think the icing on the cake was somebody had a laser pointer, and they kept pointing it on me. So as I was doing my set, there would just be like a laser on my chest. And I remember at one point I said, I hope to God right now the laser's on me. And when I checked the video footage, it was on me. And I was just slowly, and I was trying to make fun of it, but it was terrible. And then in my closing set, they turned on the smoke machine, like the sound machine, and it was and it was just like, it was awful. Like, so it was just one of those things. Like, I had to go into therapy after that, even more than normal. And there was just no recovering from it. Like, it was awful. My husband was so mad, and I don't know, like, it just sucked. So I have the video footage, and I went home and watched right away because I just wanted to keep the nightmare going. And maybe I'll put it out there one day for everybody to see. But it was a nightmare, and there was not much I could do about it because these my husband has to work for these people, like go back to work with them on Monday. So I couldn't really say too much. Not that I normally would, but it was so awful. Like I didn't go back the following year for the Christmas party. I was like, I will never go back. But I actually did last year. And I held my head high. I was like, you crazy people. And I just acted like I was better than them. And that made me feel good. So that's my story.
Well, you know what? There it is. You gotta love it. Jennifer O'Brien. Oh man, that is a dude. I don't know if it gets more epic than that, Kay. What do you think, bro?
That was painful to listen to. That was actually and because you halfway know these people.
Yeah.
And that hurt. That's gonna affect me for the rest of the day.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, by the way, everybody, we got comedian Brian Kohatsu coming up in a few moments. I just want to say this, dude. When she said she had to get therapy, I'm telling you, we have a common friend. I won't put his name out there, but we have a common friend who bombed so bad. He came out before a rap group, rap concert, big rap group, and he opened up for them. And he bombed so bad, the only way he could get out of the venue was to walk through the crowd. And he said it was so quiet, you could hear a pin drop. And he overheard these two girls whisper, he was so bad. And immediately he went to therapy. It can be bad.
Listen, Jennifer, we need to, I agree with Michelle. I don't know if you can pull this, Maurice.
Yeah.
But if you can have a watch party with Jennifer of the video so she can narrate it and talk through it.
Okay, yeah.
Gold.
Oh, you know what? She's going to release the video here pretty soon. She's going to put it on YouTube. And you know what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take your advice.
We want to see
I'm going to take your advice.
Jennifer, wherever you are, you sold us. We're sold. We want to see the video. Nicole, you think I'm joking? We should have a Jennifer Bauman watch party after she releases the video. And she could talk through it. Like you can literally talk through it. Let's see it.
Oh, she would have no problem doing that. So we've heard 3 comedians so far. Jennifer, of course, Cornbread Robinson, and Michelle Van Duzen. We got one more with Nicole Miller. We're going to let her explain her human fail a little bit later on in the show. Right now, we've got a comedian who did a dry bar special out in Provo, Utah, about 3 weeks ago. He did it on October 23rd. He's on the Maurice Brown Show. We're going to bring him on right now. Brian Kohatsu. What's up, Brian? What's happening, dude?
I love all the bombing stories, and then you bring me up. So, all right, I'll do mine live. I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Bomb, Brian. You don't bomb, dude. You're one of those. You're like Kason. You guys don't bomb. You guys usually kill.
Well, you guys are cracking me up. I'm having a good time watching.
So, Brian, you got a little comedy set for us, man. And Kason and I, we are going to step aside.
Oh man, he meant it when he stepped aside. Okay, all right. Well, hey guys, my name is Brian. I'm actually in Arizona right now, so it's extremely warm out here, as you may or may not know. But as a comedian, I get to travel around the country, and people always say to me, "Oh, Arizona! I love Arizona. My grandmother's from Arizona." Yeah, I know. All your grandmothers are from Arizona. But they say the same thing after that. It's always like, oh, my grandmother, ever since she moved to Arizona, she's got good color. She's lost weight. I'm like, yeah, because she's sunburned and she's dehydrated. I mean, you really should pick up the phone and try to, call her. I mean, I can't do everything for you people. Come on. But no, I love living in Arizona. I've lived here my entire life. And as you know, everybody right now is bored out of their minds. So everybody's getting, Christmas ready. I must tell you that it's starting to feel a little bit like Christmas here in Arizona. It's that cool, crisp air, 85 degrees at 10 o'clock. It's beautiful. It's getting there is what I'm saying. My neighbor, he put out his stuff. Now I've got a neighbor who's like one of these guys who like goes overboard like on his decorating, and he loves it so much that he keeps it up way too long. Usually it's around February. It's still up, and but he's got those. He's paid a lot of money for a lot of different things, but he has one of those animated. It's those wireframe reindeers that are animated. You know, they're extremely lifelike. You know, they're like. I mean, who can't look for that, you know, for hours? I mean, so what I did is like usually around February, what I like to do is I grab I make my own wireframe hunter and I put it pointed toward his lawn. So it's, and I'm back. I took a break there. I got really tired during my set. So we'll put this on in the bomb stories later, like when I got cut off midway, just like because you're messing with me now. That's what it is.
You're doing great, Brian. Keep going, bro. You're killing it.
Okay. All right. Where was I? Oh yeah. So here's the thing. That actually brings up a good point. So like all of these types of online streaming and things, and everybody does these weird Zoom calls and things. In April, I got the opportunity to actually do a virtual prom, which was very interesting. Now, most of the time, you guys know, if you go to a prom, they have those themes. They'll have like Enchanted Forest or like Fire and Ice. The prom that I attended, the theme was Grounded, which I'm kidding. It wasn't that. The actual theme was making stronger friends through stronger internet connections. It was sponsored by Cox Communications, which you hate to see that, blatant marketing right in the middle of a prom. But I like the online proms, though, because I'm a father and my kids are in high school. And I'll tell you, there's nothing better than that social distance of 6 feet or 6 miles at that point for prom. I'm all for it, is what I'm saying. Takes away that whole nervous kid thing and the corsage. Now the kid just sends over like a box of, sanitizer and Flintstones gummies. I don't know what the kids are doing these days, but seems about right. Because I know like everything has changed. Because when I was a kid, when we did prom, it was dial up. So no, I'm kidding. We were old fashioned. We did it in person. So my daughter, I have a daughter who's 15 years old, and she's making it through the pandemic pretty well here at this point. She's very bored. So she'll come in sometimes. The other day she came in with an app on her phone. She says, "Dad, I have an app on my phone. I want you to try it, okay?" And I said, "Sure, fine." She goes, "Okay, so this app basically will tell me how old you are based on your hearing." And I'm like, "Well, I know how old I am." But anyways, I'm game. So she says, "Okay, here's the thing, Dad. So I'm gonna push start, and then it's gonna play a tone. And when you hear the tone, you tell me I heard the tone, and then it'll tell you how old you are, okay?" I'm like, "All right, whatever." So she goes, "Okay, ready, Dad? Go." Dad. I'm like, "What?" She's like, "I started." I'm like, "Oh, I heard it. So she stops it. She's like, "Dad, oh my God, Dad, you're deaf. I can't believe this. This is Dad. It says you're 78 years old." I'm like, "Oh, you really think that? That's really funny. I'm 78. That's funny." So I grabbed a piece of paper. I'm like, "Here, check this out." She's like, "What's this?" I'm like, "That's cursive." Don't mess with Generation X. That's what I'm saying. But you guys, I know some of you out there that are my age, you remember Show and Tell when you were a little kid? Show and Tell was one of those things that was great, right? I remember when I was in first grade, I'm like, "Hi, I'm Brian. This is a rock." Pass that around, right? Because that's all we had. If I was in first grade today, completely different story. If I'm in first grade today, it's more like, "Hi, I'm Brian. This is my rock presentation. You should have a booklet in front of you of 380 pages. Turn to page 56 and let's begin. This is a picture of the PowerPoint slide. This is a picture of the actual rock. Now, due to certain litigation reasons between me and the school district, I was unable to bring the actual rock into class. Here's a picture of the rock. Now then, here's another graph. This actually shows that it's 100% rock. Now then, due to other things beyond my control, Mrs. Evans didn't feel it was appropriate to give me enough time to finish the report. So if you flip to the back of the book, you can go to www.briansrockpresentation.com. Ask me any comments or questions that you might have there. Thanks, Mrs. Evans. That's my time. That's my time, guys.
Well,
thank you. I know you're plotting at home. Thank you.
Hey, that was good stuff, Brian. That was really good stuff, man. I tell you.
Well, thank you.
I'm interested. Oh, go ahead, Jake.
I was gonna say, I don't know if it's a millennial thing, but just my curiosity will not allow me to go check to see if it's a real website. I don't know what it is, man. But that rock presentation, I love that joke.
Oh, thanks.
Hey, Brian, tell us a little bit about your opportunity to go out to Provo, Utah, and do a comedy special for Dry Bar.
Yeah. Basically, what happened was back in I don't know what that accent was that just came out of my mouth. What happened was back in March, I got approached to do Dry Bar, and I was all set to go. They sent me the contract. I signed the contract, and then the very next day, they canceled everything due to COVID. So I was lucky enough to get asked back as soon as they started reopening up a little bit here. So I was able to do that in October. So it was good. The biggest problem, of course, was, nothing's open. So trying to get some stage time as quickly as possible. So I called every friend who ever owed me a favor, and my comedy friends
Right.
was able to get 15 shows put together pretty quickly. So, and made some new friends along the way, and we shared some shows and all that. And so it's good. So, but yeah, that was a great opportunity. So glad to have done it. So now we just wait.
Well, how are they handling the social distancing and this, this COVID-19 deal? How are they dealing with that?
Yeah, based on the comic that you talk to, they will tell you that place holds anywhere between 200 and I believe it's 5,000 people. Again, depending on what comic you speak to, but I think it holds about 250 was what I've told. They scaled it way back to 50 people only, so it's 50 people.
Okay.
They brought in some tables to kind of fill in the gap on the floor so it didn't seem so empty. But to be honest, that place is just one of those things where that room is set up perfectly for comedy, and the acoustics are great. So even with 50 people in there, it was Aurora's 50 people. So it was a good experience. I mean, I would have liked to have been there, full packed house, obviously.
Well,
but
listen, Brian, look, man, big time congrats to you, man, because anytime a comic gets in, oh yeah, that's huge. Anytime you get an opportunity as a comedian to do a special, it's pretty exciting. I mean, a lot of times what we'll do, we'll just take it upon ourselves. I'm gonna make my own special, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when you're asked in a professional setting like a Dry Bar, and that's going to be your own reel. I mean, you can get hired wherever you want with that kind of set, with that type of professional camera work and the room. I mean, the whole 9 yards, dude. So, and you don't know when it's going to be released, right?
They are, due to the pandemic, they're backlogged a little bit on the edit. So typically I've heard somewhere between, normally it's 3 to 6 months is what I've been told, but they had told me it might be closer to 9 based on still working to get caught up at this point. So we'll see.
Yeah.
So
sounds good,
sure
man.
When it comes out, man, make sure you watch it, man. I can't wait.
All
And
right.
you know what? I'm waiting on Kason Wilson to do a special, man. That's what I'm waiting for. What's up, Kate?
When it's the right time, when it's not poisonous to be outside.
The week's not over. Come on.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are really
go find an audience right now. You do.
Hey.
well. Now, Brian, you're in Arizona right now, correct?
Yes, correct.
So what's the comedy atmosphere out there in Arizona?
We are open. Most places are at about 50%. And people are coming out. I mean, people are coming out. Most of the 50% places are filling up. So, we're surviving it as of right now. So our numbers are going up again, but we'll see where it goes. So,
Well, I'm definitely excited to see that. And Kason, you're right. I mean, it's really difficult. I'm going to Miami in a couple of weeks, and I was going to go out, and my wife said, "You're not going nowhere." So I'm not going to be doing. I'm not going to be performing. But
you playing Russian roulette going to Florida.
Well, it's crazy down there. It's no question, man. And last thing I really need to do is get on stage. And you know what? They're wide open. I mean, they're all the way back. And to your point, it's Florida. I don't know what it is down there. They just seem to not really care. I don't know why. Maybe they're just having too much fun and they don't realize danger. I don't know what it is, but I'm not going to go out. I had planned on performing, but I'm not going to do it now. I think we just need to be safe and think about just our loved ones. Let's not be selfish. We got to think about your loved ones. Brian, I want to thank you for being on the show. I can't thank you enough, dude. Yeah, and that
no,
was
this was fun.
Hey, man, it was fun having you on. Did you get a chance to hear some of the bomb stories?
I did, and I know all those people too, so it was nice to get to know them a little better. So
Okay,
that's fun. No, it's good.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, comedian Brian Kohatsu on After Dusk with Maurice Brown. Brian, thanks again for being on the show. May the peace of Christ be with you and your family, bro. Thank you. God bless you. All right, Brian.
Okay.
I guess that was your first time meeting Brian, right, Kay?
It is. It is. He's great.
Oh, yeah. Good guy. Good guy. I cannot wait. Had you ever heard of the dry bar comedy specials that they do out there in Utah?
Yes, I have. I was actually scheduled to go out there at some point to just go check it out. And but COVID, coronavirus is out here.
It's out here, dude.
And when it opens back up, I'll be back up there. But until then, if your state's not wearing a mask, I won't be there.
There it is, Kay. If your state's not wearing a mask, and let's understand, there are some states that are not wearing masks, Kay-san. I'm not going. I'm not going. I.e. Florida.
A hotbed. Nah, you can have that. Y'all can have the whole state.
Whoa. Yeah, I'm not going to go on stage. I'm going to go down there. I can't resist going to Florida, but I'm not going to go on stage. Coming up, we've got another musical selection coming from Chris and Helen Holmes. Stick around. And also, we've got more human fail stories coming from Nicole Miller. She's going to be with us a little bit later on the show. So stick around, everybody. Some help?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Tell you what. There you go. Here's a $5 bill. There you go.
You cheat?
I just gave that guy a $5 bill. I didn't give him a quarter or a buck. I gave him a 5. It's just not enough. I don't. By the way, did I mention? Could someone hit the rewind button on 2020? Maybe.
Water you turned into wine. Open the eyes of the blind. There's no one like you. None like you. Yeah. Into the dark shine. Out of the ashes we rise. There's no one like you. None like you. Yeah. Our God is greater. Our God is stronger. Lord, you are higher than any other. Our God is healer. Awesome in power, our God. Our God is greater. Ooh. Water is turned into wine. Open the eyes of the blind. There's no one like you. None like you. Into the darkness you shine. Out of the ashes we rise. There's no one like you. Oh no, none like you. Our God is greater. Our God is stronger. awesome in power, our God, our God. Our God is greater, our God is stronger. Lord, you are higher than any other. Our God is healer, awesome in power, our God, our God. And if our God is for us, then who could ever stop us? And if our God is with us, then what can stand against? And if our God is for us, then who could ever stop us? And if our God is with us, then what can stand against? And if our God is for us, then who could ever stop us? And if our God is with us, then what can stand against? And if our God is for us, then who will stop us? And if our God is with us, then what can stand against? Oh yeah, then what can stand against? Our God is greater, our God is stronger. Lord, you are higher than any other. Our God is healer, awesome in power. Our God, our God, our God, our God. Our God, our God, our God, you're my God, my God, you're my God, my God, you're my God, my God.
Woo! Yeah. Hey, I'll tell you right now, that was beautiful. That was absolutely beautiful. I'll tell you right now, I love you guys. I love you. Tell you
Love you
right
too.
now, beautiful.
Amen.
Absolutely beautiful. I'll tell you guys.
Thank you.
You know, it's been a long time since I've seen you guys. For everybody that's watching, you know, Chris and I worked together in Alexandria, Virginia. We used to work with little kids, and we just had a blast. I think those kids were like anywhere from 6 to 13, I think, right in there, something like that. And it was a ministry because, young people, they need, to be able to trust older folk. And unfortunately, in the time we're living in, that is not something that's, it's not, you can't necessarily trust a lot of older people in 2020. So it was a great time. I mean, it was me, you, I think Shawnice. I mean, we're just a great group that we worked together so well. And then Chris, you were the star, dude. Chris was the star. I mean, the kids were crazy about you, dude. We got on the bus and we sing Snot Face, man. We had a blast. All the kids would sing, man, So anyway, it's and then of course you married.
You had all the hoops. You had all the
well,
hoops.
I the kids used to love to watch me shoot the basketball. That's for sure, man. Yeah, that we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. Then you met we did, man. And then you met and married your beautiful wife, Helen. And, my wife and I had a chance to go to your wedding and see you guys sing. I mean, you guys tore the house up, man. I mean, just beautiful stuff. Great singing. And as you guys have demonstrated on my show, I just thank you for being on After Dusk with Maurice Brown. And so on a serious note, since I've got you guys right where I want you, What's been going on with the COVID-19 stuff? I mean, I know it has hindered a lot of entertainers and performers. You know, I'm into stand-up comedy now. I can't do stand-up anymore in the the places like the bars and the wherever and venues and all that stuff. How are you guys dealing with that?
COVID-19, like everyone else, it hit us hard and stopped a lot of events that we were doing. Because, like you, Mo, we're live performers, and we found a way to just continue to make it work. With the help of God. We still lead praise and worship for churches that call us. We do it virtually, or we do it with minimum number of people in the room. That go along with the guidelines of the CDC, and God has been opening some doors, and we've still been singing, and God's been taking care of us. It's really God that's been taking care of us.
Amen. Amen. Absolutely. I was going to ask you guys, about your church. Is it open? Our church is open. And I think Virginia, I'm in Virginia, and I think our church is not our church. Virginia is about to close all the churches again. So I didn't know what the protocol was where you guys worship, if they're having a social distanced situation or if they're even open at all. A lot of churches don't even have service still. Some are slowly coming back. But I didn't know where you guys were on that.
We're in our church, we do pre-recorded services. So it's a team of no more than 10 people, and we work together and we pre-record the service so we can have them for Sunday morning services. So we're not going back to church anytime soon as a congregation. Our pastor's not having it.
Yeah, and I totally understand that. I mean, it is what it is right now. And I'll say this real briefly with going forward, we have a new president, I think. Anyway, what I'm saying is, as we go forward with the with a new leader here, I'm like, okay, now are we gonna corral this thing? Are we gonna treat this with the seriousness that it needs to be treated with, and get this out of here so we can all go back to normal ASAP, as soon as possible. So that's kind of, and again, I mean, we got Christians that are on the red side and the blue side. At the end of the day, it's about Christ's side. So I'm just praying that, get back to normal and do what we do. Let me ask you guys a fairly serious question about what's going on in our country right now. I love talking to people that are well-read and very, very open and honest people like yourselves. Let me ask you something about what's happening with the BLM, Black Lives Matter movement. When you consider what happened to Breonna Taylor and Jacob Blake and, of course, George Floyd, that's just to name a few. I could go on and on, but I'll stop there. There's been a lot going on in 2020, coronavirus and racial injustices and so forth. Do you guys see that an effective, positive change can come in this country as it relates to racial relations?
Say that last part again. I couldn't hear the last part.
Do you guys think that a positive, effective change can come in America where racial relations are concerned? When you think about the protesting and just the butting of heads that's been going on in our nation over the summer in particular with, like I said, Breonna and George, do you think some positive results can come out of this?
I definitely can. I would say I'm very optimistic in the natural sense, and of course in the spiritual sense. My faith says yes, that it can definitely have a positive outcome. One of the things that what I do appreciate, as bad as it may be, I appreciate the exposure that has taken place. So I appreciate, because for so long, racism has been able to hide, so
yes,
it
that's
was
true.
not right up front. You know, so sad to say, a lot of times due to certain leadership, it did open up our eyes. It brought more of an awareness, and prayerfully, you know, everything goes well. Our newly elected president, who basically seems to be completely against all this hatred and racism, will, couple with all of us who believe in equality and justice, that we can move forward in a more positive way. You know what I'm saying? So
yes,
it's been bad. What has gone on at the same time, it has opened our eyes. We can no longer sit back and act like we don't see anything. That's on both sides,
Amen.
because you have
Amen.
some of our own that act like they don't see it either. They've been able to act like it doesn't exist, but it's right there in our face. It's right there, and so it's an awareness, it's an awakening. So we all have a responsibility to do something to make it right.
Amen. Amen. I totally agree. Well said, Helen. Well said. You look at it, I'm just so, it is what it is. The man is lost. Now, I hope they don't have to come tote the man out of there. But I'll just say this to you. The reality is this, okay? Red or blue, at the end of the day, hey, we're all people of God. We follow Christ. He's our king. And that's the only thing that matters, and the infighting and stuff, we got to stop doing all that. We got to stop doing all that. We have one kingdom, and we are citizens of only one nation, and it, we gotta, I like what you said, Helen. We gotta get along. Now, I gotta ask you this, Chris, in particular, but this can be for the both of you. But as an African-American male, have you ever, Chris, had a bad encounter yourself with law enforcement?
I personally haven't.
Okay.
Thank God all my pullovers have been pleasant. But that's not the story for everybody. But it does raise a concern, that I'm no different from any other black person except by the grace of God. I was riding down the street and the other day, and the car was pulled over, and I saw it was a black guy in there, and his hands were just sticking out of the window. His hands were just sticking out of the window. So even though I haven't personally experienced it, I've seen it, and it's heartbreaking that we have to have those conversations with our sons about the proper way to get pulled over for a traffic violation and not get killed.
Or even being confronted.
Right. In any regards. That's sad that that's a conversation, but it's a real conversation that we have to have. And I was talking to one of my co-workers who was white, and he was sympathetic, because he was like, I didn't know that, per se, that this was how you had to live. I'm like, this is not a conversation that you have to have with your children, but this is a conversation that I have to have with my children.
Yes. And I tell you guys,
and I would like to.
Oh no, you're good, Helen.
I would like to kind of add on to that. Okay, as he said, we have three children, and all are teenagers. All are teenagers, 2 sons and a daughter. And I began to reflect while he was talking. We were coming from my sister's home one evening out of White Plains, Maryland.
Oh yeah.
And we were on our way home, and there was a accident that took place. A young man, he had crossed the median onto the side we were on.
Okay.
But we didn't come in contact. We happened to see the aftermath.
Okay.
There wasn't a police officer on that showed up. He was African American, and then later on, there were Caucasian officers that showed up, and the fear. Now, we had nothing to do with the accident or anything. We were all waiting. Like ours, because it had literally stopped traffic. The thing is, what disturbed me was how my children were so afraid.
Okay.
Because they saw white officers.
Yeah.
They were petrified. I mean, the fear that gripped them. Like, don't say nothing.
Wow.
Roll up the windows. That's how they were speaking to us. Roll up the windows. Don't say anything. And I'm like,
oh wow,
there's nothing to worry about. I mean, we have nothing to do with this. The thing is, a lot of people who have been innocent bystanders had nothing to do with an incident, but they became the victim. You know, they were so afraid. I mean, the fear that gripped them, and then just really that evening, I'm like,
wow,
this is terrible that we have absolutely nothing to do with what's going on, but because of what they see and what they have seen, they are gripped with fear, and like, that should not be.
no, that should
police
not be.
Motto is to protect and serve. It's terrible.
But well, you know, Helen, what's really interesting about this story to me is how things have kind of reversed. Like, our kids kind of have to school us now. It's so bad, you know, out there, you know, as far as, you know, what's happening with people of color and law enforcement. You know, they have really gotten the message that, you know, the quote unquote popo, they aren't good folks. You know, that's the message young people are getting. And that's an indictment on law enforcement. They should be ashamed, because this is the message and this is the effect that they're having on young America. That is not a good sign. And quite frankly and honestly, Helen, what that does is bring out the fact that we have a problem in America with law enforcement, period. It's a real issue.
Yes.
You know, the Bible says, Jesus says, it is better if you cause one of my little ones to stumble, for you to have a cinder block tied around your neck and to be at the bottom of the sea. That's not good, Helen. That's not good. So, wow, what a story. I'm really shocked, kind of an eye-opening for me. Well, look, guys, I tell you right now, I want to thank you for being on the show, and I appreciate you entertaining the subject matter. I couldn't think of two better people I would like to discuss it with, and to get solid and substantive back and forth with. Two terrific people, and Chris, one of my best buddies in life I've ever had. We worked for a short period of time, but it was a lot of fun. And one I'll never forget, Chris and Helen. Oh, and one last thing I did want to ask you guys about is the fact that you train other praise and worship teams as far as how to lead more effectively. Can you speak on that real briefly?
Helen she's a vocal coach, and she trains vocalists and speakers to speak, as well as teaching worship leaders like I do. I have a program called How to Lead Worship in Your Own Skin, and it's a program to teach worship leaders, because the leading worship is intimidating when you look at other people leading worship and they look so confident, and then you have this image of yourself and just say, well, I'll never be able to lead like them. And that's the best answer you can ever give, because no one is supposed to lead like anybody else. You're supposed to lead the way that you lead worship within your confidence. So we had a class called How to Lead Worship in Your Own Skin, and we train worship leaders how to lead effectively, being themselves. And we also have an event called When Worship in the whole church about how to find their role in praise and worship. Because our motto at our church, if you're a member of this church, you're on the praise team, and you should be engaged in praise and worship. For us to pull you by the arm and say, "Saints, you should be ready." All of us on the praise team, we just have different roles.
Yes. Well, guys, I appreciate you once again being on After Dusk with Maurice Brown. Ladies and gentlemen, the very talented Chris and Helen Holmes. Thank you so much, guys, for being on the show. 2020.
Hey, you guys, I'm Venus Monique from the hit crime drama Vindication, and you guys should definitely make sure you're catching the Maurice Brown Show on Roku TV.
Yeah, I tell you, 2020, it's been a crazy year, you know, this COVID-19, it's all kind of, what's going on right now? What's happening? I hope they don't ask me for any money. I definitely didn't ask for this. Well, this is going to be for free. I didn't ask for this. This is happening. I don't believe this is happening. I don't have the money to do it. Can someone hit the rewind button on 2020? Yeah, hit that rewind. 2020, you know, that really happened to me in Washington, D.C. I'm at the light, and dude, you know how they you know, wash your windshield and all this. I didn't ask you to do that. Now you want me to pay you for something I didn't ask you to do. And then you want to hit me over the head if I say, yo, man, I don't have any money. I never seen anything like that before. The guy straight carried me, and I thought, wow, 2020, COVID-19, racial injustices, and bums whose prices have gone up. Okay, what's going on, man? What you think, man? What's happening? What's happening?
I don't know if it's 2020, man, because that was happening back in Jersey City in 1996. So I don't know if that's a 2020 thing. You know, back where I'm from, I mean, to me, it's just a hustle. I ain't mad at it. They would, like, if you were homeless, they would find you parking spaces and they would hold the spot for you. You give them $5. I mean, we all out here trying to hustle. I'm not mad at it. A little window wash. You keep $1 or $2 on you, man. Listen, man, you got to get it how you live. So, you know, they're winning right now.
You got to get it how you live.
Being at a stoplight and doing somebody's window, that's a COVID safe. That's COVID safe employment right now. It's 6 feet distant. You don't have to be close to anybody. Whoosh whoosh, squeegee squeegee squeegee. You out of there? $3, man.
Yeah.
You're doing all right. You're doing all right.
You're doing all right. And you better give them something, too. They'll squirt you in the face. So, anyway, K-San, we got one more comedian human fail. It's Nicole Miller, a comedian out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. And this is her total human fail on After Dusk with Maurice Brown. Check it out.
Hi, I'm Nicole Miller, and I'm going to tell you about my first time doing karaoke. It was pretty memorable because I was doing karaoke. I went to this party. It was like a big graduation party, and it was actually for my date. I wasn't the one graduating. And they passed around this notebook with all these songs in it. And I saw a song that I thought, oh, this would make sense for a graduation party. And it was I Will Survive. So I saw that song there, and they were saying we're taking requests. And I thought when they said requests, they meant songs they were going to play at the party. So I wrote down I Will Survive. And then like halfway through the party, after already forgetting, they called my name to come to the microphone and sing I Will Survive in karaoke. And I was shocked. I didn't know what was happening, but I had already wrote my name down, and I guess I had committed to this thing. So I didn't want to, I guess in the moment, I didn't want to look stupider and be like, I didn't know this was karaoke. So I just went up there and I karaoke'd my heart out of, and I will survive. And it was way worse than this right now. I didn't know I was going to sing right now. So that was literally my very first time doing karaoke. And I didn't even know I was going to do karaoke. And it was bad. It was like, you know, karaoke is supposed to be bad, but this was like way worse than the worst karaoke ever. That's my first time doing karaoke by Nicole Miller.
Thanks, Nicole. That was an interesting story, Kay. That was an interesting
man, you don't
story.
just sing Gloria Gaynor and not know you singing it. That's something you got to prepare for overnight. That's on the high.
Yeah. That is something you got to prepare for overnight, Kay. It's no question, man. There's no doubt about that. What do you think so far? I mean, what's been the worst fail story so far?
I mean, how many do we have left? Is that the 4?
That was the last one.
All right. It's a tough one because I mean, we've had some really great stories. Just bombing. We got the 12-year-old story. We have cornbread bombing. We have another bomb at the job, and then we have karaoke. I mean,
yes.
4 really great stories. Very embarrassing. A lot of worst case scenarios. If I had to give a slight edge to one story, I would have to give it to Jennifer. I have to.
Yeah, you got to give it to
Jennifer. And here's why.
There's no doubt about it.
All of these stories are very embarrassing. But Jennifer's is the only story that kind of ends up being a twofer because she bombs in front of her husband's employees, but then he bombs because his wife bombs, and now he has to go to the office and live through her bomb.
Yeah.
That's a tough way to live your life. If you got a bomb, if somebody else bombs for you, so now you have to go to work and be like, yo, what's up with your girl, man? She bombed. Like that's something you gotta wear that. You can't talk to your employees any kind of way if your wife just bombed. Listen, you know, like my wife isn't a comedian, and she goes to her office and she tells her employees, they talk about my wife's a comedian, my husband's a comedian, and they finally get to see you do it live, and you bomb, and they're playing like ping pong above your head and playing cornhole. That's I don't know if that's more of a bomb for her or her husband, because she gets to go home and not see them only once a year or twice a year at an office party. If she has to come to the office, he has to live that bomb out every day at the office. So I would give Jennifer a ever so slight edge.
I think I would go along with it. You know, she said her husband was livid. He was having a fit.
See, now, but she didn't say if he was livid at her or livid at the employees for not paying attention to her.
Well, that's true. That's a good point.
Now, are you assuming that he was livid with her?
I'm assuming that he was livid with his boys at the party.
Yeah, because what you're not going to do is be livid with me for bombing. Like, I didn't want to bomb.
No, you're not going to be livid with me for bombing. No, you can't do that.
I did try. But yeah, that's
I think I would. I think I would agree with you. Definitely, Jennifer had the biggest human fail I've ever seen. That was the biggest stupid human story. And she's also going to put that out on YouTube. She said she never put it out on YouTube. She said she went home immediately after hiring a therapist. She went home to watch it. You see, and then she just put it away. Now she's going to put it on YouTube, and then I'm going to follow your suggestion and have a watch party and have Jennifer do the play-by-play.
Absolutely, and we can pause and let's go through all the beats and all the jokes. And that's a 20-minute set.
Yeah,
most bombs don't last 20 whole minutes.
Oh, not for 20 minutes. Then you're a bulldog. It's like, you know what? I was paid to do 20 minutes, and if they're a bombing 20, that's what you're going to get. That's a bulldog comic right there.
That's special. It takes a special mentality to do that. I'm gonna be bad for a long period of time.
Have you ever met Joey? Have you ever met Joey Aiello?
I'm not sure, but the name sounds familiar.
Joey Aiello was on Willie Brown and Friends Clean comedy show. Willie did that back in 2013 with Marcus D. Wiley and Shanita Chocolate Morris and some other comics that we know from LOL GCA. Joey, he was one of the few white dudes that was killing it at the Willie Brown show. And so Joey, he's going to give us a little 3-minute, 5-minute routine. Okay, so let's step aside and let Joey do his thing.
That's my name. You see it on the thing, and you're like, what does the ILO stand for? It's really spelled AIELLO. It's Italian. I had to take out every other letter because if you Google my real last name, the only thing that comes up is mafia members. And I didn't think that would be good for my career. Plus, the A is silent. Last time I did a show with my real last name, they introduced me like this. Please welcome to the stage, Joey Ayatollah. It's like, where'd you get the T from? This ain't Wheel of Fortune. Just can't pick out every other. I'll go with T for 500. There's no T there, you know. It's crazy because my manager called me early in my career, and he goes, "We got a problem. There's another Joey Aiello." Because I wanted to get my real last name, the AIELLO. But he said, "There's another guy with the same first name and last name." And I'm like, "Oh, does he look like me?" And he's like, "You look like him." I'm like, "What's his website?" He goes, "Wikipedia." So I looked him up, and it said on Wikipedia, Joey Aiello, mastermind, several unsuccessful attempts to assassinate Al Capone. I kept going back to that first part, mastermind, several unsuccessful attempts. I'm like, that sounds like my comedy career. I wonder if he ever performed on the internet before. I'm sure he didn't because that was before his time. I can't even hear you laughing right now. That's just performing to nothing. Just crickets. I made myself laugh. That's fantastic. It's funny though because I don't look Italian, you know. My mother was Irish, my dad was Italian, so that makes me white. And I'm like an Italian Irish American. I'm a mixture, you know. And it's funny because even though I'm an American who likes Italian food, I don't like Italian American food the way all Americans like Italian American food. Like, for instance, if I'm going to go eat pizza, I'm not going to Pizza Hut because I grew up in Chicago. Like, I'm going to go and find like a little Italian place with the music. Hey, and the little Italian guy cooking the pizza, you know. But then I moved in the middle of nowhere. I live in Branson, Missouri, and now I have to settle for a place called the Pizza Ranch. Like, this is a real restaurant. It's a chain out of Iowa. And the original sign for the Pizza Ranch was it's a slice of pizza, and it's in like a cattle, like a fenced-in yard, and there's like a tumbleweed and a wagon wheel, and the sign is insinuating that pizza slices grew up on the ranch. And I don't even go to Pizza Ranch for the pizza. I go there for the chicken, which is absolutely delicious and has to be offensive to the pizza or to the chicken, not the pizza. Pizza. Because the chicken grew up on the ranch, and he didn't even make the billboard. How are you going to put Pizza Ranch when the chicken grew up on the ranch? You know, my friend's like, well, maybe they call it Pizza Ranch because people like to dip their pizza in ranch sauce. Listen, if you got to dip your pizza in ranch sauce, it's not good pizza. You got to go to a secondary sauce because the first one's not cutting it. You're never going to hear Mario in Italy or Luigi, like having a discussion, like, you know, we need to make this pizza more authentic. What should we do? Hey, let's drown it in some ranch. It's not going to happen. So, I don't know. That's all I got for you, Maurice.
All right. That's Joey. That's Joey Aiello. Joey is got a dry bar comedy special also, and a Pure Flix comedy special. You can check him out. That was Joey under the COVID-19 rules of 2020. And you've never heard of Joey, huh? He makes a good point about the pizza, though. It's like a true Italian is not going to put Blue Ranch and whatever that stuff is they give you as an option to dunk your pizza in. That's not Italiano, okay, son?
Yeah, but it is black. I put ranch on everything. I eat my pizza with ranch. What do you want me to do? I understand Joey's point. From his perspective, he's absolutely right. But I personally, first of all, I think Lido's is the best pizza in the world.
Okay.
Bar none.
Yeah.
But ranch, I understand his point. From his perspective, in terms of authenticity, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I love a good Hidden Valley ranch on some pizza. I am sorry.
I got you.
But his point, but I understand his point. I love the joke.
Well, it's almost like going to grandma's house, sitting down, eating fried chicken, mashed potatoes, black-eyed peas, and collard greens, and you get the ketchup out. You don't do that. Yeah, well, you don't put ketchup on grandma's collard greens.
But,
come on, Kay.
But it's like ranch is delicious. It goes with a lot of things. It goes with a lot of things. It's not. It
goes with a lot of things.
I get it. I'm saying when it comes to authentic soul food, you don't put ketchup on authentic soul food.
No, you don't do that.
I understand your sentiment, but But would I put ranch on some like fried chicken? Yeah, I would. Okay, again. Here's what you gotta understand about Maurice. You might not know this about me. Up until I was about 25, I used to put ranch on everything. Yams, pizza, mac and cheese. I still will. Like if my food is touching and the ranch just happens to ever so slightly get on there, I'm not mad at it. All right, let me just say this. Ranch is my dressing of choice. Do you have a dressing or a sauce of choice?
Oh, look, dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. I lived in Washington, D.C. for 20 plus years. And when I go get my fried chicken wings and fried potatoes, dude, I got to get the mambo sauce, dude.
But do you put mambo sauce on more than just that?
Sauce for my fried chicken wings. That's just an absolute no-brainer.
But would you eat pizza with mambo sauce on it?
I might.
That's my point. You just got to try it. You just got to try it.
Yeah, but I guess what I'm saying, see, I'm speaking from the point of a black man. You're speaking from the point of a black man. But Joey is speaking from the point of an Italiano. An Italiano don't put no Blue Ranch on his pizza. No,
right,
mama.
Michelle,
see, you don't do that.
Michelle said ketchup is her sauce of choice. Now, listen, this is a thing. Ketchup. All right, this is an age-old question.
Would you put ranch on eggs?
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right, like in like a sausage bowl with like sausage and eggs, and cheese and grits, which leads to this more important question. What do you put on your grits, Maurice?
Jelly and butter. Jelly and butter.
Chili? You said chili?
No, jelly. Grape
jelly.
Apple,
You put jelly on your grits with butter.
Oh, yeah. Just
okay. That's different. I've never heard of that. That's different.
Well, now, Kay, let me say this to you. You are from New Jersey. See, you're a black man from New Jersey. I am a black man from North Carolina. I'm from the country.
See, I was expecting sugar or ketchup. I didn't expect jelly.
Yeah, that's an automatic.
Wow,
that's automatic.
But I was gonna say butter, but that was the ketchup conversation. It was like a lot of people put ketchup on their grits. Some people do butter. Some people do cheese. I know a lot of people in the country do cheese on their grits, like cheese grits.
Well, see, you can put ketchup. You can put ketchup on a lot of different things. Michelle said we need a video of me trying that. Well, maybe I'll do a video of that, Michelle. But here's the deal. You can put ketchup on a lot of things. But when you go to grandma's house as a black man and sit down to the table and she puts a plate of collard greens and fried chicken in front of you, you can't get the ketchup.
But I would do the ranch. And we could just agree to disagree. That's just where I am in my life. I still have room to grow. I'm still maturing. Ranch can just be a young man's game. But ranch, all right, ranch, Chick-fil-A sauce, and Polynesian sauce, are undefeated. They're bipartisan. They're Democrat and Republican. Anybody can get with them.
That's a bipartisan vote. Yeah, that's a bipartisan vote for sure.
Across the board. Zaxby sauce, if you're familiar with the South, Zaxby sauce. I mean, I can talk sauce all day. But the point is,
I can tell.
I'm a foodie in a small foodie.
Okay.
But man, I understand with Joey. I need some of Joey's pizza recommendations. I want to taste a pizza where I don't want ranch. That's where I want to get to in my life. To your point, you're not supposed to do it. So Joey, send us some pizza recommendations so we can eat a pizza that we don't. I don't need ranch for anymore. That's the next evolution. That's where I am.
I'm gonna get with Joey on that. Michelle, I like that. That's when you grab grandma's gravy bowl. There you go, Michelle. That's it right there, Michelle. See, Michelle, she's from Oklahoma, so she kind of gets that down home, Southern fried eating. She kind of gets it.
Oklahoma. I was in the musical Oklahoma when I was in high school. I love Oklahoma.
But
I was.
Okay, Kason, dude, this has been a great show, man. We have really run quite a long time. Hey, yes, Chick-fil-A sauces for sure. Have you tried Raising Cane sauce? Have you tried that, Kate?
No, there is a Raising Cane's here in California, and I have not been there yet. If Michelle, if you tell me to go try it, I will. If Michelle can personally recommend Raising Cane sauce, I will go try it.
She personally recommends it. That's interesting. I'll have to look into that myself. Kason, man, no, dude, this has been a great show. We picked Jennifer O'Brien. She's the winner of the Stupid Human Stories contest. We're going to get her a special gift. That was a lot of fun. We had Chris and Helen Holmes on the show for a musical selection. I don't know if you've ever met Chris and Helen. They're out of Maryland.
Of course. Awesome. I love them.
Oh, okay. Okay, great. I didn't know you were familiar with them.
Oh, I love them.
So they were great. We had Julie Tapkin on. Like I said, she's just released an EP, a country EP called Denim with Diamonds. Loved her musical selection. Joey Aiello, comedian. Brian Kohatsu, comedian, also on the show. And we had Jen Gotson. She's got her movie, The Farmer and the Belle, coming out for the holidays starting tomorrow. It was great having her on the show as well. This has been a great show. I loved it. Michelle, we are going to try it. We need more information so we can definitely find out about Raising Cane. Ladies and gentlemen, look out for After Dusk with Maurice Brown next month. I hope you have enjoyed this program, a program just to provide a little love, a little laughter, and some Christ. And so I hope you enjoyed it. It was a great show. Kason, thanks for being on, man.
Oh, no problem. It was my pleasure, man. This was great. I really enjoyed myself, man.
It's always nice having you around, Kay. And hopefully you can stop by for another round in December as I put another great show together, man.
Okay, you got it, man. While we're here, if you please follow me on social media at The Life of KAY. I have a podcast called The Life of. Please go check that out. With an episode talking about the power of local government. We actually have a mayor-elect. The first black mayor of Tarrant, Alabama, came on to discuss senators, governors, police chiefs. What mayors do, how to break down a police. I mean, literally everything you want to know about local government, we break that down. And then the effects of the election with my wife, who is a lawyer. And please go check it out. The Life of. Yeah, come on, Alabama's in the house. So check that out. It's on Spotify and Apple. And this is great.
And didn't we have a brother that was running for a senatorial seat out of Georgia?
Yes, there is another election that's going to happen because they're under 50%. So January 5th, I believe, in Georgia, there are 2 Senate seats that are up. And there's a lot that I did not know about the responsibilities of a senator versus a governor versus a mayor versus a police chief versus a council person. And Mayor Newton broke all of that down. So please go check that out. The Life of with Kason Wilson. And yeah, it's a lot of things going on out here in the world, but I'm glad that someone's being intentional about spreading love and laughter and joy as we make the changes that we want to see the next generation enjoy.
Amen. Great words to live by. God bless you, Kason. Thanks again for being on After Dusk with Maurice Brown, and hopefully we'll see you next month right back here, man. Stay safe, and may the peace of Christ be with you and your family, brother. God bless you. Hi, Maurice Brown here, computer dummy dad. My son is in the room with his buddies putting some really neato, cool computer stuff together. They might need my help. I'm going to take a peek inside and see what's going on. Hey guys, what's going on? Whoa, man, that's some really cool equipment. Do you guys need any help with anything? Love to help. My son's just looking at me like, don't you see grown people talking? Okay, anyway, if you need me, I'll be upstairs, okay? All right. They're not going to need me. All right, so hey, check out After Dusk with Maurice Brown next month. We'll see you guys later, all right?